Another big win for Team California.
The power is ours.
This is KCAL News, Los Angeles.
They just came and looked to see who they can grab and grab that.
Now at 8, activists demanding a boycott of Home Depot, accusing the chain of helping with immigration raids.
And breaking news, a broken water line sends a wall of water shooting into the backyard of a home as crews try to restore water to thousands of customers in the San Fernando Valley.
And the heat is lingering, but for how long? Your next weather forecast for the weekend and when we'll see some relief from the warm up. Hello, thanks for joining us. I'm Hunter Sowards.
And I'm Gio Insignares. Welcome to KCAL News at 8, streaming live on CBS News Los Angeles. We start with breaking news on the water outage in Granada Hills and Porter Ranch. Tonight, water gushing from a broken hose into the streets of Granada Hills.
LA DWP telling us this was a pipe connecting to a temporary water source. They say a connector on the pipe failed, causing what you're seeing on your screen right there. It just bursted. Now, we just got new video of the moment. Just the strength of that. Video here is from a backyard of a home next to where the hose burst. You can see the wall of water sent patio furniture even flying. The homeowner says the impact of the water also sent a tree shooting into the air. He says his backyard patio has significant damage, including cracked walls and possible damage to the roof.
And this is a live look from SkyCal of the scene right now. LADWP says the pumps and the valves have been shut off, but some water continues to flow, though it doesn't look like really much, if any, at the moment. Kind of hard to make out there, but at least a dramatic difference from what it was before. They also say this failure does not impact efforts to repair the main valve. Meantime, it's day 4 without water for 9,000 customers in that area. The Mayor Karen Bass is pleading with residents to conserve as much as they can, even if they have some water coming from their faucets.
We are distributing water. You can pick up water, but we are very concerned that if people continue to use the water that is coming out of their faucets today, it is going to delay the ability of the DWP to get the line back and restored, and for your use of water to be back to normal.
So the outage started Tuesday because of a broken valve. There's a boil water alert, and the DWP has set up service stations to give showers and drinking water. Now, the mayor says firefighters are in the area just in case. She also says utility crews hope to have water service restored in the next couple of days.
A group of protesters taking over the Grove Shopping Center in the Fairfax district. SkyCal flying over the area around 5 this evening. Demonstrators held pro-Palestinian signs calling for an end to the war in Gaza.
At one point, officers formed a skirmish line, but we didn't see any arrests. The crowd eventually moved on, marching through the nearby streets.
There was another protest a few miles away in MacArthur Park focused on recent immigration raids.
Our Zach Boeto reports there were also more raids this morning at Home Depots in Southern California.
We're standing outside of the Home Depot in Westlake, down the street from MacArthur Park. Behind me, these guys tell me that some of them are undocumented, but they're not concerned with ICE, even though there was an ICE raid that took place at the Home Depot in Van Nuys yesterday morning and an ICE raid that took place at the Home Depot in Marina Del Rey this morning. Tonight, activists calling for an end to these ICE raids and for people to boycott Home Depot.
It's been just over 1 month since this viral video showing ICE and federal agents clearing out MacArthur Park made national news. Tonight, a group of activists and immigration rights advocates are back at MacArthur Park, demanding a stop to a new wave of reignited ICE activity.
The community is here to take the park back today. But yes, it is wrong, and I think it's a clear condemnation in the strongest sense of, like, you know, we our communities.
New video shows ICE agents Saturday hitting another SoCal Home Depot parking lot, this time in Marina Del Rey. It's the latest in a week-long revived effort by federal immigration enforcement to detain and deport
undocumented immigrants, with ICE agents again hitting Home Depot parking lots. This comes as the Supreme Court has yet to make a decision on the Trump administration's efforts to overturn a judge's July ruling for a temporary restraining order on these types of ICE sweeps.
We would hope that the Supreme Court, upholds the rule of law and stops the Trump administration, but we're not waiting around for them.
Just one day ago, ICE agents hit a Home Depot in Van Nuys that DHS Assistant Secretary Tricia McLaughlin says resulted in the arrest of 7 people from Guatemala, Mexico, and Honduras. McLaughlin says of the 7 detainees, 4 had criminal records spanning from multiple DUIs, arrest for disorderly conduct, failure to appear for removal, and a prior removal. But Megan Ortiz, who oversees day labor centers across Southern California, says the raids were unfairly targeted and unconstitutional.
So they are clearly violating the TRO. They didn't ask anybody anything. They just came and looked to see who they can grab and grab them.
Not only is this group protesting immigration enforcement, but they're also calling for people to boycott Home Depot.
Yesterday, they went inside the Home Depot in Van Nuys to take someone. Clearly shows that there's a complicity between Home Depot as a corporation and the Trump administration.
Tonight, Home Depot says it is not notified when these ICE raids are going to take place, and it is not involved in these operations. Reporting in Westlake, Zach Boetto, KCAL News.
Evacuation warnings have been lifted for those living near the Canyon fire just west of Castaic. Evacuation orders have dropped yesterday, but they were downgraded even further this morning. The fire started Thursday in the high heat and spread pretty quickly. No word yet how exactly it started, but we know one building was destroyed.
A firefighter was also injured while working on the fire, and today we got an update on his condition. Officials say a Kern County battalion chief was seriously injured when the truck he was driving rolled nearly 200 feet down a hillside. He was airlifted to a hospital in Newhall, where he's still being treated for serious injuries.
All right, let's turn now to weather. Slightly cooler outside on this beautiful Saturday evening after what was a pretty hot work week.
Let's get to meteorologist Olga Espina here now with our next weather forecast. Olga? President Trump will head to Alaska to meet with Russian President Vladimir Putin in an attempt to end the war in Ukraine. As KCAL News' Willie James Inman explains, Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky is not invited to the summit, and that has him and others worried.
President Trump is preparing to take another swing at a deal to end the war in Ukraine with President Putin during a high-stakes summit next Friday in Alaska. At the White House Friday, the president said Ukraine may have to give up some territory if there's going to be a ceasefire.
You're looking at territory that's been fought over for 3.5 years. Actually, it's complicated.
Putin wants all the Ukrainian land captured in its invasion and then some. Today, Zelensky rejected that, warning we will not give Russia awards for what it has done. This weekend, Vice President J.D. Vance met in Kent, England, with UK, European, and Ukrainian officials to discuss a path forward. A U.S. official said the meeting produced significant progress. French President Emmanuel Macron reinforced support for Ukraine, saying in a statement, Ukraine's future cannot be decided without Ukrainians. Some critics of the president agree.
The fact that Vladimir Putin now has a meeting with the President of the United States in Alaska, that doesn't involve Ukraine is a massive coup for Vladimir Putin.
President Trump has shown frustration with Putin, even threatening new sanctions. But Friday's deadline for Russia to end the war came and went. Sam Vinograd is a CBS News national security contributor.
President Trump keeps moving the goalpost on when and what the deadline is for Russia to agree to a ceasefire deal.
The Alaska summit comes after months of phone calls and conversations with Russian President Vladimir Putin and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky in an effort to push for a peace deal. Willie James Inman, KCAL News.
Willie, thank you. With former Vice President Kamala Harris out of the running, a new poll offers an interesting snapshot of the state of California governor's race. Former Democratic Congresswoman Katie Porter now leads her competitors. An Emerson College survey shows she's favored by 18% of voters. Republican political commentator Steve Hilton has 12% support. Riverside County Sheriff Chad Bianco is preferred by 7% of those surveyed, followed by former LA Mayor Antonio Villaraigosa with 5%. Now, the primary takes place in June of next year.
Ahead for you at 8 new clues in a deadly shooting near the CDC headquarters. Tonight, investigators say the suspect's view on vaccines may have been a motive.
And a terrifying scene at a tourist spot. What prompted gun